Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of 11th of July 2023. Essence: sweet children, become introverted and remain busy in this study. Constantly continue to follow shrimat and your fortune will become very elevated. This is the time to make your fortune. Question: what is the elevated fortune of you children on the basis of which you come to know the fortune of the whole world? What is the elevated fortune of you children on the basis of which you come to know the fortune of the whole world? Answer: to become a spinner of the discus of self-realization is the highest fortune of all. You Brahmins have now become spinners of the discus of self-realization. You know your own fortune and also the fortune of the whole world. Baba has come to make the fortune of you children as valuable as a diamond. Remain aware that God Himself is teaching you to make your fortune, and your fortune will thereby continue to increase. Song: you are the fortune of tomorrow. Om Shanti. You children heard you children heard a few words of the song. You should become intoxicated about your fortune as soon as you hear it. This intoxication is imperishable and should never decrease. When someone is a wealthy when someone is a wealthy millionaire, he has the intoxication day and night that he is very wealthy and has a lot of property. There is intoxication of their wealth. So the Father is the one who makes your fortune. Your fortune is lost at the moment. You can judge whether your fortune is worth a shell or a diamond. The Unlimited Father sits personally in front of you and makes your fortune. You can see this and you also know it. Can you see the Supreme Soul or do you know Him? You children know that you are souls. Although you cannot see a soul, you have the faith that you are souls like stars. Each of you resides in the center of your forehead. At this time, you children have to become soul conscious. The one residing in this body is called a soul, separate from the body. You souls have the pride that the Supreme Soul has come to meet you. When children take birth to their father, they become heirs. Some receive a fortune worth a few pennies, and others don't receive anything. They just take birth. Some people have 5 or 6 children. When they have low paid jobs, they understand that that was in their fortune. They see others and think they have so many palaces, crowns, and thrones in their fortune. There is a variety of fortunes for human beings. So you now know your fortune and for which fortune you are now making effort. Human beings make effort for wealth and happiness. When wealthy people fall ill, they receive treatment from good doctors. They believe that they would receive good treatment because of their wealth. Therefore, it is a matter of wealth. You are making a very great fortune by following Srimat. You children know that Baba is making your fortune the highest on high because He Himself is the highest on high. You are now sitting personally in front of Him. You are sitting in the home of the mother and father. Those who are kings and queens understand that they had performed such actions that they received the fortune to rule the kingdom. When you look at the picture of Lakshmi and Narayan, you know that they definitely made their fortune in their previous birth. you have received this wisdom. It doesn't enter the intellect of human beings how all of those wealthy people received their fortune. It would be said that they had performed such actions in their past births that they became so wealthy. That is the fruit of their karma. They sing, the philosophy of karma is unique. Whatever human beings receive, it is according to their past actions. You can compare the fortune of the highest on high, Lakshmi and Narayan. They became the masters of the golden age, who created their karma in such a way that they became the masters of the world. You now know the whole cycle. You Brahmins have now become spinners of the discus of self realization. Other Brahmins would not be spinners of the discus of self realization. They are Brahmins and you too are Brahmins. But you know that you are true Brahmins, the mouth born creation of Brahma. Surely, Brahma too would be someone's child. He is Shiv Baba's child. Shiv Baba is the creator. He has no father of his own. Therefore, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is making your fortune. Your fortune is made by your father, not by your maternal or paternal uncles, etc. Yes, for some it is created by them if they adopt you. You children have also been adopted according to the drama, as you were in the previous cycle. No one is higher than he is. Prajapita Brahma has so many children. What inheritance would he receive from the father? You understand that Shiv Baba is the father of all souls, and that Brahma is the father of all living beings, and you therefore become brothers and sisters. The father tells you children, look, your fortune is so elevated. I teach you and make you so fortunate. At the beginning of the golden age, it truly was the kingdom of Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan and the residents of heaven. I made their fortune so elevated. You children have the secret in your intellects that it was Shiv Baba alone who made their fortune so elevated. They experienced their fortune and completed their 84 births. They are now making that same fortune once again. You have this knowledge in your intellects. No one except the ocean of knowledge, Shiv Baba, can explain to you. Such a father is so lovely. The father says, you children too are lovely. I order you to practice remembering me constantly so that your sins are absolved. You know that Shiv Baba is now personally in front of you in the body of Brahma. The Father has explained, I am constantly incorporeal. My name is always Shiva. I do not enter a corporeal form and take rebirth. I have now come. You know who is talking to you. Your intellects go up above. That incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the ocean of knowledge. He is the one who is making your fortune. Heavenly God, the Father, would establish heaven, would he not? You know how the Father is personally speaking to you through the body of Brahma. He says, beloved children, the drama is now coming to an end. The soul listens to him. The soul knows that this is right. The Father says, remember me as much as possible. I have given you the knowledge of the whole world cycle. Some are able to imbibe this very well, and others forget. You are now sitting here, and He is giving you the nectar of knowledge. That is, He is teaching you this knowledge. Shiv Baba is sitting personally in front of you. He does not enter birth and rebirth. Your name, form, land, and time continue to change birth after birth. You always receive different features. These are such deep and subtle matters. You souls repeatedly shed your bodies and take others. In your next birth, you will not have the same forms that you have now. The features of one birth cannot be the same as those in another birth. Souls shed their bodies and take others, and so their activity, thoughts, etc. all change. The soul has to play so many different parts. He plays his parts with different names, forms, places, times, and activities. His activity continues to change. Sometimes it is that of a king, and at other times that of a pauper. It isn't that he would sometimes become a dog or a cat. No. You know that you are now making effort to become princes and princesses in the future. You are changing from human beings into deities. This Mama and Baba are also making effort. Then, in the future, they will become Lakshmi and Narayan to the extent that we make effort to make our own fortune. Accordingly, we will receive a lot of happiness. This is such a huge income. People, those people study for temporary happiness and become barristers, etc. in this birth. There is no question of anything for their next birth. In that too, it is not certain whether they will become that or not. You understand that you will definitely go to heaven in the future. You will then be called deities. You must never forget that you will definitely claim your inheritance of the peacock throne. You will definitely be seen by becoming the highest on high. God the Father is teaching you and so that too enters in your intellects. We are studying very well and creating our reward for 21 births. To the extent that you make effort at this time, so you will accordingly make your fortune elevated. That fortune will remain permanent cycle after cycle. This is why you should make good effort for your fortune. Your fortune is very elevated. You have a lot of happiness. Although some people here may have millions, they don't have happiness worth even a few pennies. There, you will experience your reward very peacefully and comfortably. Here, so many calamities continue to come. In just a short time, many will go bankrupt. People will continue to die. Although people are insured, what will the insurance companies be able to do? Look what happened at Hiroshima. So many people died. The insurance companies also went bankrupt. The same will happen here too. Everyone will die. To whom would the insurance companies give money? Who would light the flame for the others? Human beings have so much blind faith. Eminent people are given so much respect. Rishis and Munis are created. Rishis and Munis are considered to be higher than them. Although Although they don't believe in religion, they would definitely bow down to the sannyasis. They would go to holy men and prostrate themselves in front of them. Sages would not prostrate themselves in front of them because they consider themselves to be elevated and pure. This father says, "My beloved children, I salute you, children. You are the peacock feather in the crown of my head. You will become the masters of the world. You are also masters of Brahmand. You are double masters. I am the single master of just Brahmand. No one apart from the Father can explain these things. Therefore, you should remember such a Father from whom you receive such an inheritance so much. The father says, "Look, so many children go from here and then they don't even write a letter to the father for 6 months. Oh, you don't write a letter to the Lord of life, the beloved Father, who is lovelier than life itself." When a wife writes a letter to her husband, she writes, Praneshwar, Lord of life, so and so. In fact, none of them is Praneshwar. Only the one Father is Praneshwar. The God of all Pran, living beings, is the one Father. He says, Praneshwar children, that is, children of God who saves your life. Children too say, Praneshwar Baba, Baba who saves our lives. This name has been invented here. It is only in Bharat that they write Praneshwar, Praneshwari, but they are not that. Only the Father gives the donation of life. The Father says, When you belong to me, no one can cause you sorrow. It is souls that take sorrow. This soul feels that the Father explains with so much love. The soul remembers him and praises him. You also remember Mamma so much. Those who serve many others very well receive such a high status. Then, after her, there are those in the second number who follow Baba in doing service. You have to become very merciful. Just as Baba has made us, so we have to make others the same. You attain such great property, the kingdom of heaven. There we remain so wealthy that we build temples of gold and diamonds. They show a play about Maya, the magician. That one saw that there was some gold bricks lying there in the subtle region, and thought he would bring them back down. In your visions, you see palaces of diamonds and jewels in heaven. You see gold mines, and so you feel that you should bring a little of it back down. You can't find gold in the subtle region. Gold exists in paradise. You know that when you are there, you will go to the mines in your vimans and come back with your vimans full of gold. There are also very big gold bars. Even now, wealthy people have gold. Bharat definitely has to keep gold and silver. Everyone has big vaults built which no one can loot and fire cannot burn. So you will receive all of that in your hands in the future. Bombs, etc., are dropped from aeroplanes for destruction, but those things will become instrumental for your happiness. Those things existed in the Golden Age and then they disappeared. They have now been invented again. You now you know how you will go and bring back things from the mines. All the mines will become new. Now they are old. Therefore, you should claim your full fortune from the Father who created such fortune. You should not be careless about this. Remember the Father and your inheritance. The Father says, Have attachment to the one alone. Remember heaven. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for Dharana. First, don't be careless about making your fortune elevated. Follow Shrimat well, and on the basis of studying, make your fortune elevated. Second, stay in remembrance of the Father, Praneshwar, and donate life to everyone. Save everyone's life. Never make anyone unhappy. Blessing. May you be a conqueror of matter with your stage of a master and be garlanded with garlands of cooperation. May you be a conqueror of matter with your stage of a master and be garlanded with garlands of cooperation. Matter is now invoking you, masters. Everyone, the elements of nature are creating upheaval, but where you, masters of matter, are, matter will serve you as your servant. You simply have to become conquerors of matter, and matter will garland you with garlands of cooperation. Wherever you Brahmins, you are conquerors of matter. Step or whether you stay, there will not be any damage there. Storms will come, there will be earth tremors. However, outside it will be like a crucifix, whereas inside it will be like a thorn. Everyone will come running to you for physical and subtle support. Slogan: in order to experience alokik happiness and sweetness of the mind, stay in the stage of Manmana Bhav. In order to experience alokik happiness and sweetness of the mind, stay in the stage of Manmana Bhav. अच्छा, ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति.